I got something to say, man.
Okay.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time. And this ain't a New Year's resolution because it's February, dude.
Okay.
It's a new life resolution. You ready for this?
Okay.
I'm quitting smoking right now.
We need a round of applause button or something?
Yeah, no. I'm quitting. It's over, man. This is it. This is it. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, dude. I thought this would be a great way to hold myself accountable. What do you think about that?
I mean, if you think it works for you, that's...
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, okay.
Well, that reminds me of the question that this guy asked you when we went to a particular shoot, and he was like, "Why do you smoke?"
Yeah.
And he's trying to get you to smoke his vape pen.
I remember that, man. And he gave me like an infomercial on the benefits of smoking vape.
Which now it leaves you with popcorn lung and...
Yeah, this was before all the new... yeah.
He said it was a healthy alternative and there was nothing wrong with smoking a vape.
Dude, that's funny, man.
Now it turns out that there's plenty wrong with it, apparently.
No, yeah, it was all over the news, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm done with it, man. It's been a long time coming, dude. I've had this terrible habit ever since I was in the Marine Corps, man, and I've quit probably about 36 times. And I got to do it, man. It's over. It's done. So next week, when we do this, you'll say, "Hey, Matt, did you smoke?" I said, "No.
No, not today."
I smell minty fresh now."
And why are we not smoking, and why did we smoke? What is the motivation?
Well, I never smoked before I joined the service. And then, there was just so much downtime at Marine Combat Training and MCT. And it felt like every 15 minutes, the instructors were like, "All right, smoke them if you got them." And it was like, I just looked around and like everybody had their little smokes, or they had their little Black and Mild cigars. And I was like, "Give me that." I took a little hit of the Black and Mild, and it was delicious.
Okay.
And I got addicted, man. And I smoked throughout almost my whole adult life, man. And I did like a 6 months where I quit. It was longer than that, actually. But one thing led to another, and I just got back onto it. But this is it, man. It's over, dude. New life resolution, man. I'm 34 now, man. It's just time. It's time to get healthy. And it's not it, man. I want to get in shape.
Okay.
I used to be fit, man. Dad bods are in. No, they're not, dude. They're not. I'm sorry. They're not. And I'm not trying to get ripped. I just want to get healthy, man. Just healthy life. I got a lot to work on, and I thought this would be a fun way to quit. And one thing at a time, man. One step at a time. You know what I mean?
Well, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Not waking up going, that'll be nice. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't relate to these issues.
Yeah, no, yeah.
These.
You're very clean. You're a clean guy, man.
I'm not smoking.
Yeah. But anyway, that's it. Done. Also, it's funny. We went to a get-together last night, me and the wife, and it was a going-away party for one of her very, very close friends. And we were there having a good time, and she came right up to me, and she goes, "Hey, when's the podcast dropping? What's going on with the podcast? I didn't see the podcast on Friday. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on with the podcast?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, we just, a couple
cool.
things come up." But yeah, she was very excited about the podcast. Her and her husband watched every episode. So Charlie, Staylor, and Justin, man, we love you guys. They're moving out to Colorado. Thank you for watching, and keep watching, man. It's awesome that you guys watch. So thank you for that.
That's cool.
That's really cool. We're going to miss them a lot.
Yeah, man.
But yeah. But here we are, dude. We're back. You were a little under the weather, weren't you?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Spent the week down.
Mm-hmm.
A whole week almost. Yeah, pretty much the whole week.
Yeah.
From Monday to today.
And here you are.
I'm back from the living, back from the dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So what else is going on? We just got done shooting. Got done doing a gig. That was fun. Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Repeat client, man. It's always cool when somebody is happy with the relationship we've created with them that they want us to come back out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's always a really fun time to do that. Makes you feel good, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
We're doing good things, Tony.
We're doing all right.
We are doing all right, man.
I'm the king of the undersell for the most part.
Yeah.
Just because I got this messed up brain where it's like, it is what it is, man. You end up being disappointed enough times to where that just becomes the norm, right? So in your brain, you just grow calloused. It is just like, hey,
yeah, that's an apt description of your outlook, man. Not your outlook, but
No, my outlook. It's
oh, man. You got a positive outlook, but I understand what you're saying.
I keep things in perspective at all times.
Yeah.
And the delivery sometimes is pessimistic, but it is what it is. Like I'm fine with it.
Expect the worst and hope for the best.
Well, honestly, I think you expect nothing and just plan for the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, prepare yourself for the best and prepare yourself for the worst, but really expect nothing. You got no business expecting anything.
Yeah.
I think, honestly, you could be the most talented person in the room. You could work the hardest and still not see the result you wanted.
Isn't that crazy?
It's life, but it is crazy, right? You would expect that certain things, you worked hard and you did everything correctly and it should get a certain outcome, right? But a lot of times that's not the case, man.
Yeah, and you've heard it your whole life, right? It's like, if you work hard enough, you can do anything.
You can.
You can attempt anything.
I think yeah. No, I think the trick is people should just remember that things will happen when they need to happen. It's not because you did it right 1 or 2 times or 400 times. It might be the 401st time where you finally get the result you wanted. So.
I saw this meme on the internet. People see things on the internet, Tony. I don't know if you know this. And they share things. And somebody shared something, and it said it was a picture of a bowl of popcorn, and it said, every one of these popcorn kernels are the same. It's the same heat. It's the same temperature. It's the same process, but they all pop at different times.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, okay.
Some people like their cucumbers better pickled.
Yeah. My son hates cucumbers, but he loves pickles. And I'm like, hey, dude, you know you're eating a cucumber, right? And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, it's a cucumber.
Yeah. Salt, vinegar.
Mm-hmm. And then we watched a YouTube tutorial, or not a tutorial, but a YouTube video on how
it's
pickles are made. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? It's like YouTube University. Anytime, as a parent, it's like you're supposed to know everything. And he's so inquisitive, and he asked me all kinds of things, and I'm like, and if I don't know, I'll just say, buddy, I'm not really too sure about that, but what we could do when we get home, we'll look it up on YouTube and we'll figure it out together. And we've learned all kinds of stuff together, which is pretty cool. Just on YouTube, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, the thing I repeat, and I saw it somewhere, I must have, because it doesn't sound like something I made up, but it's in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. And I always repeated that, like in the age of Google, ignorance is a choice, regardless. Like you choose to not know, man.
It's right there.
There's nothing wrong with not knowing. It's staying in that ignorance,
right?
And just the worst thing is when people pretend they know certain things. Like, just say you don't know.
Dude, I'm so into saying I don't know. I love saying that.
Yeah, no, I like learning, and it's like, because honestly, that's a self-awareness situation too, because you get to a point where it's like, yeah, I'm good at certain things. I don't have to be good at every single thing. So no, I don't know how to do that. Like, tell me.
Yeah.
If that's what you're good at doing, then that's fine. Like,
I like what you said there. You like to learn. I do too, man. It's a never-ending process, dude. From more difficult things to everyday things. Mm-hmm. Always learning, always trying to better yourself. We talked about that a couple of times. Always moving forward, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Daddy, what's this? I don't know. Let's find out together.
Yeah.
Let's learn together.
So, and if you don't know, say you don't know.
Yeah. I
stopped the kids, both of them, when they start speaking about something when they overheard or I thought. It's like, you see it?
Mm-hmm.
You see it happen yourself?
Yeah.
Like, don't tell me stories. Like,
yeah, Victor, I said, such and such got in trouble today. Oh, really? What happened? Well, this happened on the playground and this and this. And I said, oh, were you there? Did you see it happen? No. Well, then why are we talking like we know what happened? Oh, well, I don't know.
My thing is when I get like a crazy story about so-and-so got into a fight at school, and I'm like, how do you know? Oh, because they were fighting, they got in a circle, and I saw them and they were recording. I was like, why are you part of that?
Yeah, walk
away. Don't you got a class to go to? Don't you?
You said they were recording it?
Oh, yeah, these kids were recording, which that's a whole...
Can you imagine us having recording devices when we were coming up, dude?
No. It would be terrible.
It's something I don't think about, because you got older. You have an older daughter. And she's in that life now, and that's crazy to think about. People just whip their phones out.
I'm surprised schools aren't more violent than they are. I feel like as far as that goes, like I feel like when I was in school, there was way more fighting than what I hear from my kid now.
Really?
Yeah. When I was in school, there was fighting all the time. Pretty bad stuff too. But I don't hear that very often from Annalise, which is weird because I would assume that with the cell phones and stuff like that, you can't move on from your L's anymore.
This is
you
true.
end up reliving them, and I feel like that would cause more fights. Or maybe that's why these kids don't want to fight.
Maybe they don't want to be caught on camera, dude.
Yeah, you got to relive that forever. Maybe, I don't know, but I would feel like that would cause way more fights. Like you recorded me getting beat up. Now it's going all over the internet, and I'm going to have to fight you again.
That's interesting, man. When I taught early childhood for a little while, and my last stop was at a local place here in Virginia. And I used to drive the bus, and I'd go pick up the older kids from the elementary school. And I remember one day, one of the kids got on the bus just in shambles. She was just inconsolable. And I was like, sweetheart, what is wrong with you? What happened? Such and such called me fat on the internet. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who was it? But it's crazy to think that, right? Like, I guess apparently, she had recorded herself dancing to some, what is it, TikTok or something like that. And one of her classmates commented on it and said some real nasty things to it. And yeah, call me fat on the internet. Man, that's crazy. Crazy to think about, man.
Well, I ask you a question. We try not to get political and stuff like that on this platform just because we have a very wide range of opinions, and it's all good. Maybe we'll get there one day, but right now we don't care to discuss it. But I'll ask you this.
Sure.
In a general sense.
Yeah.
Like, when do you think kids should be having phones? And this is whenever for a parent that got an 8-year-old with a phone, this is not a knock.
No, there's no knocks here because everybody's different, right? Every child is different. Every parent has a very different parenting style. I'm a believer that there are many different ways to raise your children. Mm-hmm.
But in your house,
in my house, Victor will not have a phone.
Until when?
Until I think he's old enough to drive and he has a car. This is just off the
phone.
Yeah, this is just off the.
Just now, just thinking.
Just thinking, and I haven't put too much thought into it because he's 6, but it'll be here before we know it. Yeah, I don't know. I just think back to our childhood, and I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a phone until I was out of the house and having a job in DC in the Marines.
Right.
And even then, I didn't even use it that much.
I didn't get a phone until I bought one myself.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what it was. I didn't have even when I was driving in high school, I didn't have a phone.
Right.
I didn't have a phone at all. So that's a good question, man. I mean, I don't think he needs a phone. I don't think he needs a cellular phone until he's old enough that he's out and moving and making moves. You know what I mean? And just from a safety standpoint, hey, just let me know you get there.
Yeah, and even that's scary because I had taken for work. I had taken this driver, safety driver class or whatever to let you drive, the company cars and all that stuff.
Oh, for Norfolk.
Okay. And they mentioned, I forgot what the statistic was. I should have pulled it up. Well, I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but it was like over 50. I think it was like 70 or 80% of accidents are now attributed to texting.
Dude, take a look around. Victor will call people out. My 6-year-old will call people out. We're at a red light, and you just look around. Right. Look around, dude. They're all on their phones, and it's crazy. I was driving down 264 today from Norfolk coming here to the studio, and I'm doing 65 on 264, and I'm looking over, and I'm seeing people doing this thing.
Right.
Doing the quick glance up, make sure I'm not going to kill anybody, go right back down.
Right.
To the Instagram stories. 50%?
No, it's more.
Oh,
it's
gosh.
more. It's more than that.
Distracted driving, dude.
Yeah. But specifically for being on the phone. And if I remember right, the statistic was like actually speaking on the phone. Mm-hmm. It's a higher rate for people to text, actually. Like they're texting, they drive and text more than they actually just speak on the phone.
Wow.
Which is nuts.
That's just in general now. I feel like less and less people are calling each other. they're texting.
Yeah, they're texting, and I don't know. It's weird. It's like Bluetooth is still available, but it seems like less of a thing. There was a time where everybody was walking around the malls and stuff with their Bluetooth
with their headset.
On.
Remember?
And they wouldn't even be on the phone. They just had it on.
Yeah.
Like you see the little blue light blinking or whatever. Mm-hmm. And now it's like they're back to just texting. That's it. So I don't need an earpiece. I don't know. I've thought about going back to the earpiece and leaving it in the car. It's just something else you got to charge now. I got so many things I charge every single day. Now I got to remember to charge an earpiece.
You got to charge the earpiece. Remember that Office episode where Jim and Pam, they had that the world's tiniest.
Oh yeah, and Dwight was
Bluetooth.
and Jim was like,
yeah,
he turned his face away from it.
Yeah, I remember that, man. That was everybody had the Bluetooth headset, little earpiece. Phones were real tiny.
They're going back that direction too. It seems. Well, at least there's a wide range of phones. You can still get a small phone now.
Yeah, I had this Nextel Brick. That was the first cell phone I ever had. It was like this little rectangle, rubbery. It had like a rubber. And dude, I threw that thing down the stairs, man. The thing was indestructible, dude. And it had the chirp chirp. You ever have the chirp chirp? It was like a two-way radio.
Nah, my first one was like a Nokia black and white screen that had Snake, and that was it.
Oh, Snake's fun.
I had a Sidekick.
I remember that.
Flip.
Yeah.
The flip thing. I had
Sidekick
a
was
Razor.
Cool. Yep.
The flip.
Making a comeback. Making a comeback.
A bunch of Android phones. I had a Windows phone. Those were the worst phones I had.
I had a Sony Ericsson phone.
Yeah, I had one of those at one point.
Yeah.
That was back when ringtones were a thing.
Remember ringtones?
When you had everybody had a custom ringtone, which now you could do it still, but it ain't as big of a
Is
deal
anybody
anymore.
still doing that? Are people putting custom ringtones?
I hear them every now and then.
Do you?
Some of the more annoying ones too.
What was the ones where you would call people and then as you were waiting for the phone to pick up, you'd hear a phone?
I forgot what you call that, but the
Yeah.
ringtone too. But for when you call someone,
A lot of people,
Call tone.
a lot of my friends had the strings. It was like the orchestral. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, dude, am I calling a law firm? Like, what is this?
You're on hold.
Yeah, but yeah, I remember that little piece of technology that just isn't nowadays. You know what I mean?
I remember back then we would hold the phone up to the speaker of like a song you liked or whatever, and
to
let that
record your
play.
own personal one. Yeah.
And then, yo, it's so and so. Hit me up at the beat, whatever the heck.
Yeah, no, I never paid for, people are paying for ringtones, man.
Nah, yeah.
$1, Nope. Nah, I didn't do that. And now, dude, I'm not even putting people's pictures in my phone.
Yeah, that was a thing too.
Remember
was a
that?
thing, too.
Everybody had
yo, let me get a picture of you.
Yeah,
like,
so
from
we can
my
put it
phone.
in your info. Yeah,
I
in
don't
your
have
contacts.
that.
Yeah, I don't do that. I think my wife has one in my phone. I put a picture of my very beautiful wife there so I can see her face when she calls me. But other than that, I mean, it's just Tony.
Yeah.
Tony's calling. Yeah, man. But to go back, I don't know. I think I'll burn that bridge when I get there with Vic in terms of what he's allowed to have. I mean, I don't know. I remember like a year or two ago, for some reason, I got a wild hair and I was like, I'm gonna just leave my phone. I was living with my parents. It was after a pretty low point in my life. I won't get into it. Maybe one day we'll get into it. But I had to leave where I was living and I had to come back home out of some pretty crummy circumstances. And I was living at home for a little while. And I remember just to get away from it all one day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave my iPhone here at the house. I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to drive to Norfolk and I'm going to go walk around and I'm going to go to MacArthur Mall. I'm going to go window shop and I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble and I'm going to read a magazine, get a coffee, and I'm going to go walk around Waterside with no phone and no GPS and no texting and none of that, dude. And I just left it at the house. I said, hey, I'll be back. Okay. And it was like eerie. It was crazy because, we're just so connected now to those phones. And it was cool to just be unplugged for a little while.
Right.
And it was really cool. And I was like, man, I need to start doing this like once a week. I'll unplug for one day. I'll just do no phone. And it was pretty cool. But it made me remember that's how it was. You know what I mean? Like, in high school, I had a car and it was like, my parents would see you later.
Right.
Hopefully we'll see you tonight. How did we live, man? How did we
normally, like for me, it was don't open the door, keep the door locked, don't open it, don't check don't even look out the window. Somebody knocks, don't bother with it, don't answer the phone was the thing too.
I'm talking about just me leaving the house.
Oh, leaving the house?
Just going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I see what you're saying there too.
Yeah, for us, that's how you lived. And it was when you were going out, I think we just knew a time, if I remember right.
Yeah, just be back
be home by 7 or 8 or something like that. Like you had to be in.
Yeah.
And I got stressed a bunch of times, and then we got stretched a bunch of times.
Yeah, man. Oh, but times have changed, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. I just feel like kids, they need to learn to be self-sufficient. They need to be bored. I feel like kids don't know how to be bored anymore. There's just no boredom.
Okay, Boomer. Kids are able to entertain themselves more than ever now.
No, I know that. I'm just talking about without having to use a bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, it's weird. I don't mind
okay,
those.
Boomer.
I don't mind those things. Because I feel like kids are just social in different ways now. No, they don't see each other face to face as much as often, but they probably speak with way more people than we ever did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we at any given time, you probably had 3 or 4 friends you spoke to on a regular basis. When these kids are speaking to hundreds every single day, and speaking is still texting. That's a form of speaking. So they're able to do that. The consequences are different. I still think there's a lot of value with being able to sit across from somebody and see their face and know when they're not playing around and feel that potential for things to go up to a different level. Like it kind of does teach you to measure your words better. But I think these kids are doing fine. What I think is interesting is how long kids are taking to leave their parents' home now. And that's not a knock. There's a million different variables that go into that. Economies are different.
Yeah, this is true.
Education systems are different. The job market is different.
Cost of living is different.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's interesting to see people that are like, they're not leaving until they're 30.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and that's pretty commonplace nowadays, you know, especially in the working class, you know.
And that brings up the point of these kids. You guys gotta like have, and this is some boomer talk too, but this is just the truth. You gotta have way more respect for your adults, like, because the reality is you're probably not gonna leave at 18 years old, and at 18 years old, your parents are in every right, if this is what they choose to do, to tell you it's time for you to leave and do your own thing. And that's hard for a kid to understand, especially, I want to say from a male perspective, because I'm a male. I think you start feeling the independence urge way more. I always say, you know, and this I think I've heard elsewhere, but I always say you can't have 2 male wolves in one den. Like at one point, the boy will start to look at his dad like more like a challenge to his independence versus this is my protector. Now he wants to control me and I know more than him. I'm stronger than him. I'm smarter than him.
Okay, go get a job and get out.
That's the truth. And that's really my point, though. That's exactly my point, is that kids have to understand that you will very likely be in a situation where you'll be at home 10 years after your high school graduation. So you need to learn to be an adult, but at the same time, be a humble adult, be directed and be fine with that. And not feel like I'm a grown man now and no, don't tell me to clean my room. Don't tell me to come in at a certain time. I'm going to be out till 2, 3 in the morning.
I don't know about all that.
Like if you want those things, you're going to have to move out. And the way things are set up right now, you need multiple streams of income, whether you're with a woman you can trust or whether you've got multiple streams on your own. Because just going out of high school, going to earn 10, 11 bucks an hour, you're not going to go live on your own.
It's unfortunate, but you can't make it happen that way in these days.
Well, not in Virginia Beach, exactly. Like not to what we know. Like you've got to be making.
You got to be making a lot more than $10 an hour.
Yeah, like I'd love, and that's the podcast we always talk about. Like I'd love to really break down like what do you need to be doing with $0 in your pocket? What do you need to be doing with 500, 1,000? It's tough. You know, I'd like to get to the point where we could give people advice like, okay, so you're bringing in $3,000 a month. Now you can move out. You can do X, Y, Z.
Isn't there like a percentage, like a percentage of your yearly income or monthly income should be allocated to living expenses, like your living situation?
Something like that. But I'm gonna tell you,
that's crazy, dude.
In our tax bracket,
it's crazy talk.
110% of your money goes to your cost of living.
Yeah,
in
all of
our
it.
Tax bracket.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if we consider middle class or what, but
yeah,
the blanket gets stretched, man. But yeah, no, these kids. But bottom line is, you know, all that independence, the way your brain is wired and telling you, hey, you're a grown man now, go do your own thing. You got to learn that, you know, your parents are not your little friends online. And good parents will remind you of that real quick.
I got great parents, man.
We both do.
Yeah, we do. We got great family situations, man. And I mean, when did you move out?
I moved out when we bought a house. And at that age, I believe I was 26, close to 27. My personal goal was to have a home of my own, like a mortgage, like my own home by 30 was my goal since I had gotten in high school. And my friends will tell you now, like they gave me a really hard time. A lot of friends gave me a hard time for being home at 20 years old, 25. I got made fun of a lot of times. Most of those things didn't bother me. Some days it did, depending on who it came from. But I had a real clear plan. And I saw a lot of friends move out, spend a year doing the, what do you call that when you live with somebody else? Doing the whole roommate thing. And that end up not working, and they got to move back with their parents. You know, and I used to always look at that, and I'm like, what's more embarrassing?
And you know
living with your parents or having to move back in with your parents?
And that's okay. That's okay.
Those things are fine.
That's okay. Stuff happens.
But it's not in the context of what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's not fine when you're beating somebody else up and telling them, look at you live with your parents. It's like, you're fine today. You have to be careful because life goes in seasons.
Yeah, it does.
And you're on top today, and you might be down tomorrow, and I might be up. And back then, I was way more vindictive. Back then, I was way more like, I'm going to shove your face in it like the dog when they pee on the carpet. Like, I'll show you, like, look what you did. You messed up.
Yeah.
And I would make it a point, and I'd make a song about it. And like, here go. And I'd sing it in your face every day.
That's an In Living Color reference for all you millennials out there.
Homeboy had to move back with his mama. He thought he was so cool. Like,
that's funny.
So yeah, no.
But okay, so you had a plan.
I had a plan.
I stayed home a little bit, and then and you got out. Bought a house. Boom.
Yeah, and I messed around. So to the kids that are listening, which I hope kids are listening, I did. I blew a lot of money, which I think everyone does.
Oh yeah, man.
I think when you first get a job and you first feel $1,000 in your hand for the first time, you think you're rich. Which I've learned that we know $1,000 is nothing.
Yeah, man.
But when that happens the first time, you end up spending all your money. And I spent it real foolishly. Ended up getting in a lot of debts on stuff that you turn around and you're like, what in the world do I have a $2,000, $3,000 credit card debt for?
So where did that go? Where did all that money?
Yeah, what do I have to show for?
Spending exactly. What did I spend it all on,
like,
man?
Nothing. Like stuff that today, like if I don't even have a credit card today, thank God. Worked hard and got rid of credit cards.
Credit cards could be a good thing.
No, they could be good, and
they are a good thing. It's almost in this day and age, it's a necessity to have good credit.
Well, exactly. I mean? And the point, I'm not even making it bad about credit card. The point I'm going to make is that when I spent money and put it on credit cards, it wasn't any investments. It wasn't anything that's like I had to get the car fixed.
Right.
It was like, hey, instead of waiting until next week to get that other pair of boots, I just want 3 pairs right now.
I want them now.
And then when the money came in, it's like, well, why do I have to put it towards a credit card? Like, I only got to pay $25 a month. Like, why should I pay the whole $300 even if I have it?
Yeah.
And that stuff starts to stack up. So right now I have no credit cards, and that's not a thing. I got out of it, and I haven't gone and got more just because I'm kind of shy right now. As far as not shy, but like after something happens, like after having it for so long, like give me a break. Like I'll be back, dude. I want to get it and be real, because to your point, it is good to have that credit going. It's good as a backup plan, because you don't always have $2,000 sitting there. Your car messes up and you need a car.
Yeah, you got to be able to swipe it
on a credit card. You got to be able to do that. But
dude, you want to hear something crazy? Yeah. I had 14. It was like it was like $16,000 worth of debt.
Just on credit cards or with student loans and
dude,
stuff?
No student loans.
Oh, no, you don't got student. Nope. You don't have to deal with that.
It was just on a number, like a couple of personal loans. It was like a credit card. It was all kinds of craziness, man. And I mentioned earlier in the show, it's like, something happened and I had to leave my previous life and come back home to Virginia to start a new life.
Right.
And with that, I had a crazy amount of debt.
When you left Egypt and was in the desert.
Right. That's a story for another day. But it was crazy. But, I had very supportive parents, and they said, well, this is how you get out. This is how you do it. And it only took me about 2 years. 2 years to pay it all off and wipe it all clean.
Right.
And then it sat for the last couple of years, and my credit score was in the dumps, and it is back into very excellent standing. So if you're out there and you got debt and you're in some trouble, that's okay. Stop procrastinating, get it done, take care of it, and you can get back, man. You can get back. Dude, if I can get back, you can get back, dude. Oh, wow.
You can get back.
It was crazy.
You can get back from any situation. But that stuff right there is where people get touchy sometimes, because it's like, get your hand on my pocket. It's the attitude. But it's like, if you're saying you're in a situation, and we had talked about this a million times, and we recorded one when we mentioned it. It's like, if you don't have it, you don't have it, right? You know, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you don't have to invest in yourself, then you need to look at how much you're spending. It is what it is, but you need to look at from your groceries all the way down. How often are you buying sneakers?
Just look around a little bit.
Do you have to buy steak every night? Do you have to buy pork chops every night? Can you go with chicken? Dude,
You know what's crazy?
people, they got to stop acting like they're above ramen noodles and stuff like that. They got to stop
Right.
acting like they're above it, because you're not above it. Today, your budget says that all you could have is ramen noodles and those canned Vienna sausages. That's all you can have today.
And you got to have a goal, dude. It's like, look, I want to get out of debt, or I want to be able to have more money at the end of the month to do things, okay? You got to have a goal first. And you know what? You might have to make some sacrifices for a little while, dude.
Yeah.
It's not it doesn't have to be a permanent forever thing, but you're right. Hey, we got to eat at home. I mean, dude, we're struggling with that at our house, man. We eat out all the time. It's crazy. We got to eat at home. We got to make some changes.
And that right there too, I want to get back to that, because you end up losing a lot of money. Like, I had done the math when I was at my previous job, and I told them, because at my previous job, there was people that ate out every single day for lunch. And I was like, well, if you're spending $10, $12 every single day, and you're married, and your wife is spending $10, $12 every single day, you're looking at like $300-$400 a month just in lunch. When that's how much money I spend on groceries for the entire
grocery
family.
run. Right. For all the meals.
So you're talking about, you spend $400 just on lunch, plus $400 just for your dinner and stuff like that. $800, you're near mortgage territory just on food.
Yeah.
And food, you don't have to go, like, I joke around, but this is the truth. And people that are in low income means already know this, and this is like laughable to them. But it's like, you know how far you can stretch rice? Like rice, you go get a 10-pound bag of rice and you're set for a month, 2 months. Like, you're set.
Get yourself some chicken breasts. You know what I mean?
Some great value chicken breast.
Great value chicken breast.
What is it? $20 for like a 10-pound bag.
And a frozen bag. Throw it in the freezer. You got some rice. You got some chicken. Get you some. So you can get some steamable frozen vegetables, man. That's a staple in our house. We have chicken, rice, and some veggies.
That's the thing. And for a lot of people that I know listen to this, because they giving feedback, and so I know the type of like backgrounds they come from. They know with $20 what you can do. You can stretch $20 quite a bit.
Now you can't go to Whole Foods and spend $20.
I can't go to Whole Foods now. I don't want to go to Whole Foods now. I went to Whole Foods.
But that's the thing, Tony. You got
by what they had. Like,
you got to get the organic, USDA choice, non-GMO, no hormones, grass-fed, cage-free, free range. My dad knows about 400 more of these buzzwords. He lives in California. And he's got them all, dude. He'll rattle them off. It's so funny.
I was gonna say RJ, of course.
Yeah, RJ. Yeah, my dad, RJ.
This is California life problems.
Yeah, he's right. But man, yeah, it's long story short, you could do it. You can do it. You can do it.
You can.
You can do it,
you
man.
said I don't know what organic means.
Well, it's
somebody that shops at Whole Foods and look, it bothers me none if I'm an ignorant dummy, because I don't know what organic is. You're talking to a kid that is like I said, the great value the $20 for the 10-pound bag. That's what I'm eating.
Boom.
My stuff doesn't say organic. I've seen it. I've walked past it.
Yeah.
Same $20 I spent on 10 pounds, I can go get one organic chicken breast. It's got like a clear label with the green thing on the side.
It's got
organic.
It's got no chemicals. But you know what's funny? I saw a news article the other day on my smartphone, and it said something along the lines of there's like hundreds of companies that are putting the word organic on it, and it's just not organic. There's like different levels of organic apparently.
Yeah, it's like 4K.
Right, it's like 4K resolution.
It's like 4K HDR. Like,
is it 4K though, or is it upscaled?
27-inch screen is 4K. Like.
Yeah, no, you're not seeing it. But it's funny, and it's just like everything. It's like everybody's just trying to tick these boxes so that they can sell. It's just about selling, man. It's not people ain't trying to protect you.
Right. They don't care.
They don't care. You think they care?
You think
they don't care, dude. That's a whole nother podcast, dude. The frightening world of advertising and false advertising.
Well, yeah, how it's legal to just lie to you.
Which
honestly,
but it's up to you to decide.
Yeah, to an extent, I'm fine with them lying.
What you do next, right?
I'm fine with them lying to you, because if you believe everything these people are telling you, then you might deserve. You might deserve some diarrhea or something. I don't know what it is. I was gonna say something way worse.
Tony, nobody deserves diarrhea. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah,
Never thought I'd say that word on this show, but
That's fine.
You and I both know that's terrible.
That's hilarious. But if you look at it, one thing that did throw me off, though, this is true. Like, if you look at that Great Value chicken breast and you hold two of them together, can you imagine the colossal velociraptor-sized chicken that must be?
Yo.
Have you seen a chicken in real life?
Dude,
Have you
they're
seen what
small.
chickens look like?
They're small.
They don't look like the size of a chicken breast.
Dude, go out to Pungo, dude. Go out to Pungo. They're like anorexic chickens running around, man.
Nah, that's what a chicken looks like.
Yeah, that's a real chicken. Dude. Oh.
So when we get the Great Value thing, like, that is pumped full of something.
Oh, yeah.
That is not. That's not. The
My
size
wife
of-
is like, yeah, they put cancer in it.
I seen them inject. I think they inject like saline or something to make it look
Dude,
bigger or something
that's
like that.
insane. That's insanity. My wife's gonna
Whatever
kill
they
me.
inject in it, you know, it ain't nothing Sweet Baby Ray's can't clean up.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Nothing that Cholula won't fix.
Nothing that Sweet Baby Ray's isn't gonna fix for you.
Sweet baby Rays. My wife's gonna kill me, man. I remember when we were first dating, I was like, you know what sounds good right now? She's like, what? I said, a s'more Pop-Tart.
A s'more pop.
A s'mores Pop-Tart. She goes,
Oh, s'mores Pop-Tart.
S'mores, like
Okay,
a s'mores flavored Pop-Tart.
I thought you were gonna make a s'more with two Pop Tarts.
Doing that tonight.
thought
Doing
you
that
were
tonight.
saying-
I'm
you
gonna
were
quit
saying-
smoking, but then I'm gonna make s'more Pop-Tarts. S'mores out of
Just make.
gross, dude.
Well, I
Gross.
was like, that sounds good actually. You take because you can get
All right,
s'mores flavored.
Walk me through
Pop-Tart.
it. Walk me through it. So we have a Pop-Tart.
No, you have two Pop-Tarts.
Two s'more flavored Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Toast
then you
them.
take a couple of marshmallows.
Toast them.
Toast the
You take a
marshmallows.
bunch
Put
of
them in, and then
marshmallows.
just like that.
I thought that's what you were saying you were doing.
No. I said I want a s'mores flavored Pop-Tart.
Okay.
And she goes, you know, you get cancer by eating that.
She was serious.
She was dead serious. And I go,
Did you
I
research
started
this?
laughing. Oh, dude.
It sounds laughable.
I laughed and I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, you get cancer from that.
Okay.
This was like 4 years ago.
It said so on Pinterest.
Okay, hold on. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, you know how many chemicals are in Pop-Tarts? I said, you know how many chemicals are in everything?
You know how many chemicals are in your water?
Yeah. But anyway, now we looked it up, and yes, there was something. I'll have to, she's gonna kill me.
Somebody had cancer.
Somebody got cancer from Pop-Tart, dude. But they were like eating like 3 packages of Pop-Tarts a day or something like that. It was something crazy. But anyway, they had some weird rare form of cancer, and I was like, okay, yeah.
Pop-titis.
Guess what I ate the other night? S'more Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Still here, baby. Still here,
S'mores.
baby.
You want a s'more? S'more what?
I want some s'more marshmallows, baby. Dude, we had a fire at our new house, dude. We had a fire pit. We got a fire pit now. That's the kind of life we're living, baby. Got a fire pit.
You made this or it was there already? or
No,
what?
dude, no. It was it's the one you could buy at Walmart, the portable fire pit.
So to my point is that the one you bought at Walmart you'll be throwing away next year because it'll be a thing full of rust.
Yeah, it's just all rust.
Yeah.
Nah, but we had a nice fire outside. It was
That's good.
nice. We made some s'mores, man. Isn't that a great family thing to do? Make s'mores. You ever make s'mores, Tony? Does the Barrios family ever sit around a campfire and make s'mores?
No, we sit around a Xbox and
Yo, your family's so lit, dude. It's so cool. I'll be sitting there and I'm like, I'll call Tony and be like, dude, what are you doing, man? You want to play some PlayStation? He's like, yeah, dude, me, Joyce, and Annalise will jump on. We'll run squads. You want to play Fortnite? What do you want to play? You want to play Ghost Recon? Fortnite? Call of Duty? What do you want to play? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I got a TV upstairs. I got a TV on that. I got in the back bedroom. We got a TV. Got a PlayStation. Got a PS4 Pros down here, but we got the regular PS4 upstairs. But yeah, we got their own accounts and we gigging in. That's so cool, dude. How cool is that, man? You guys all play together.
Yes.
And we had a conversation recently. It was like, doesn't matter what you're doing, just be together.
Right.
Just be together and do some stuff together, man. You guys game together. How cool is that? You, your wife, and your kids, you play, and your brother, man, you guys play online games together, dude. That's just crazy, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super
It's
cool,
an
man.
absurd amount of
I love it, dude. You go over to
recurring
Tony,
bills.
dude, you go to Tony's house, man. It's like they just, dude. Tony, I remember that day you got the where you talk to your lights and you turn them on.
Oh.
Tony, all nonchalant, he was like, "Google, turn on all the lights." He was like, oh. They came on. I was like, okay, all right, this is freaking dope.
So you still go to the switch in the complete darkness?
Yeah, I
You still
do.
fumbling around the wall?
And I twisted an ankle last week doing it.
That's all right. When
Yeah, no. I just want this one.
I think you can still get that.
The clapper? I taught Vic about the clapper. I said something. I just started singing the clapper jingle one day in the car because I just start singing and try to make my son laugh a lot. And because he thinks I'm freaking hilarious. But I was like, clap on, clap off. The clapper. Or
Right.
cha-cha, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but he was like, what's that? And I was like, you don't know what the clapper is? He's like, no. It's like, that's what we did. Went to YouTube, and I looked at that old, like, 1988 clapper infomercial. It's on there, and we watched it. He thought it was the funniest thing. That lady is old, and she clapped, and the lights came on. Now he wants a clapper. I'm like, okay, we'll get you a clapper. We'll get you a Chia Pet. How about that? We'll get you a Chia Pet too.
Nah, those
And a
smart
pet rock.
things. Those smart things are cool. I got in
Control
the
your
bedroom.
whole house, man.
Yeah, man. I want to get the thermostat next, but I got it to where in my bedroom, like 15 minutes before my alarm goes off, my nightstand light starts to turn on slowly.
And it turns the heat in the house into 104.
No, that would make me wake up furious every day. That's another conversation too. So, do you sleep with a fan every night?
Do I sleep with a fan? So until recently, we didn't have a ceiling fan in our old condo, but our new houses, we do have ceiling fans, and we do not. Victor loves the ceiling fan going.
Yeah, I need the fan on every night.
You got to have the fan on?
It could be 20 degrees. I need the fan on. Yeah, I need it, man.
Do you have the oscillating?
No. I got the ceiling fan.
Like a sprinkler.
Ceiling.
Oh, like okay, cool.
Oscillating ceiling fan would be dope, though.
That dude, oscillating ceiling fans that just moves around the room. Different. No, are you a cold house or are you a hot house?
No, I
dude.
need it freezing.
Arctic, dude. That's
freezing.
You know what? When I knew this company was gonna work, when I knew we were gonna be successful, is when I came to your house for that first time. And I went in there and it was like 67. And I walked in, I was like, yes, yes. I was like, you like it cold? And he was like, oh, dude, turn it down, man.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah,
it don't matter.
dude, it's crazy. We'll spend the money, dude. We'll pay the bill.
Oh, yeah, no,
we'll pay that
comfort.
bill.
You cannot
Keep
put a
it
price on your
cold,
comfort, man.
dude.
Come on.
You turn the heat on in the wintertime?
In the wintertime, I barely touch it. No.
A little bit? Just a little
No,
touch?
It's got to be like out of control, and I've got to argue about it and fight about why is it on.
Dude, I cannot stand walking into a house and it's like 75.
Nah,
No
it's
hating.
gotta-
No
it's
hating.
gotta
If you got 75 in your house,
I'm
okay.
hating. If you got 75, something is wrong with you.
There's something wrong with you. Dude, it's like my cheeks are already red all the time, okay? I go into a 75-degree house, dude, I look like the Kool-Aid man, dude. It's just like that house heat. I can't stand it, dude. Yeah, we keep it at like 68.
I can't stand it to sleep. Like, soon as it kicks on, like, and this is why in the winter I don't turn it on, because soon as it turns on, that heat gets in my nose and dries out. Like,
Yes, it
all of this
does.
here, and it wakes me up immediately.
Yes,
and
it
now I'm
does.
not asleep, so it's like. And plus, I had seen again. This is not a fact show either, because we could have some facts here. But
Yeah, no.
I did see this online somewhere.
Oh,
That,
so it is a fact.
No, that like the human body sleeps better like at a colder temperature, whatever. Like you go into like a mild hibernation or whatever. So this is not just a preference thing. It's actually recommended that cool your body down.
You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks, from the CDC itself.
Yeah.
What was I about to say? Yeah, you know what's great about having a cold house or just being cold in general? You can always get warmer.
You can get warmer.
You can always get warmer. But when it's hot as heck, it's super hot, can you always get colder?
Well,
no.
and there's
you
rules
cannot.
to like even requesting that the thermostat be touched. Like, do you have sweatpants on? Do you have a shirt on?
It's like, it's cold in here.
Yeah, it's like, well, put some clothes on.
Put your third sweatshirt on.
Like, did you get a blanket? Do you have a blanket with you?
Where's your parka?
You got like, you can't come to me with shorts and a tank top and say, let's turn the heat on. Are you serious?
Yeah, man. No.
Let's not turn the heat on.
No.
Let's sit down and be silent.
Let's get cozy, man.
I'm going to tell you something.
Oh, no.
I told Jerome this, and the people that don't know me might get upset about me saying this. I'm a very sarcastic person, all right? So just bear with me.
Really?
Just ride with me on this one. I told Jerome I'm a very simple person. I only ask my family for two things, and I don't always need them at once either. Obedience or silence.
Oh, my God. And this is where you and me go like this.
Very simple. I only ask for two things: obedience or silence. I don't need them both at the same time. But when I do get them both at the same time,
Nirvana. Sweet. It's so sweet. You're such an idiot, dude.
And I let you choose too. That's the best part. Like, I don't force.
Thank you.
I don't.
Thank you, Tony. Oh man.
I don't.
He
force
lets you. You let them choose.
I don't force either one on you, baby. You have a choice. You
Wow.
you can be obedient or silent.
That's hilarious.
The choice
dude.
is yours. I'm not a tyrant.
Oh.
I'm not even
Oh
telling you the
my
way things
gosh.
are gonna be.
I'm just saying. You only get two choices.
Because the only choice y'all give me is to be unhappy. So.
Oh my gosh. You know, dude. You
the only
mentioned.
choice I get is to be mad. You just be mad.
Yeah, you mentioned being silent. You know, I feel like there's just not enough of that.
No, there isn't. Certainly not in my
Have you
house.
ever just? We talked about this a couple days ago on the road. We were somewhere and we were in the car and it was like I can just be perfectly content by myself.
Well, that's a dangerous man right there.
Silence, just right here.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna speak for me. I'm only speaking for me. I can only speak for me.
Disclaimer: this is Tony talking.
This is me talking only.
Okay.
Juan Antonio Barrios.
Note the time.
Note the time. This
Note
is
the time.
only me.
7:31 on Sunday, February 9th. Tony Barrios about to say something. Tony, go ahead.
Yes, Tony only. Look, with women, need to
Oh,
be
oh,
careful.
whoa,
With men who are fine with being in complete silence. Right?
Oh, what?
This is me only.
Okay.
Women ought to be careful with men who are fine with complete silence.
Why do you say that? I'll poke the.
Because don't threaten me with a good time. Don't.
What, of being silent
Yeah,
and alone?
You're gonna be mad and leave me alone. That's fantastic. Let's get to that part.
Oh, you're
This last boss ain't gonna kill himself.
you're an idiot.
Like, what are you telling me? Yo, you
funny.
can't talk to me that way. You're right, I can't. You should just yell at me and walk away.
Oh my god. When you start a sentence with "women ought to," jeez, man.
No.
Okay.
We should
right.
all be careful with people who are fine being completely silent because your absence is not always going to be the threat you would hope it is.
Okay.
I'll say that much.
Okay.
I'll put it
Tony
that way.
says that much.
I like the way I just said that. I
No,
think
that was actually-
I'll
that
roll
was-
with that one. Your absence is not the threat you think it really is. People should be careful with
Dude.
those because those certain people. Not everybody is that way, and
Mm.
there's nothing wrong with people that like because you have people that need to be very in social situations. They need to be around other people. I'm one of those many people on the planet that if I am completely alone, it does not bother me one bit.
Yeah.
Not for a second.
I do like that too. Not all the time, but I
could do it all the time, with the exception of the fact that I love my kids to death. I love my kids to death, but in a parallel universe, when I didn't have kids, I was perfectly fine with being alone for years. It wouldn't bother me one bit. Like
Desert Island.
that would be fine with me.
That's your Nirvana right there.
That's it. Back then, all I needed was memory cards and a working DualShock.
Boom.
That's all I need.
That's a PlayStation reference. That's funny, dude.
Yeah, many of that's
You're
delivered.
full-
Much
dude.
of that is delivered sarcastically, but there's some truth to it.
Tony, you are like a man full of like these just epic, life-changing, declarative statements. Like, dude, you get such a great way with words, man. I'm so jealous.
Well, this gets you in
Jeez.
trouble also.
Yeah.
It gets you in trouble.
You know, man.
I say too much.
On a serious note, dude, this came into my head, man. It's like I'm so glad we're doing this together.
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, you lift me up in so many different ways, and I feel like I might be able to lift you up in a lot of different ways.
You do.
And I'm just so happy you're here, man. I'm so happy we're working together, dude, because there's times where something not ideal will happen or something goes south, and I let my emotions get the best of me a lot, dude. It's something I'm working on. Life goals. Hashtag life goals. I wear it on my sleeve, dude. And Tony, you're always there to just kind of put things into perspective, man. You're like the king of analogies too, which I love too. Well, you're a rapper, man, so that just kind of comes naturally.
Yeah, 'cause
But man, I'm so proud to call you my partner, man. You're such a good dude. I don't know where that came from, man. Just hearing you
okay.
speak so eloquently.
I'm okay.
I thought I had great vocabulary until I met Tony, who has just the most epic mastery of the English language, dude. I'm like, man, I thought I spoke good. And then I met Tony, man, and he's like, let me just throw this thesaurus at your head real quick.
Nah, I enjoy writing.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy. There's a little bit of selfishness there. There is. I enjoy being able to create something that will, in turn, create something in you.
See, there's another one. There's another one right there. Trademark. Put it on a freaking t-shirt, dude.
Like I think poetry, music, just art. I think art in general. Like a true artist, they understand it, and you get this because you're an artist yourself in your own way. But we're talking about music specifically, is what you alluded to, like just being able to write.
Yeah.
I think it's something I'm really proud of, to be able to write some words down that just came from inspiration, that made someone else think about their own life, or made them just stop and take a moment to take stock in their own life. Like that to me is incredibly powerful. That's something that came from my brain, my heart. I wrote down on a piece of paper, and when I said it, it made someone else stop. Like, that to me is incredibly powerful.
Yeah,
and I
no.
like that. I enjoy that. I enjoy the ability to just like, hey, my words just made that person cry. They
Feel
made
a certain way.
made
Right.
them- I'm talking about musically. I'm not talking about being mean or nothing like that. Like, but I just enjoy that ability to just be able to, that my creation in turn created something inside of you, that it made some kind of connection. I like that.
That's what it's all about, dude. And you know, I played music for most of my whole life, and that was always something that was very special to me too. It's like, and not just with music. I mean, it's what we do now too. You know, we're creating art for people, man, and it's just really special when we see those reactions, dude. It's funny. We're producing a show for a friend of ours that we share this space with, Jack, and we're producing his. He does a live show every day, and you know, we worked on this show for him and figured things out, and I got the same joy of seeing him do his own show that we kind of had just a little hand in, kind of just molded it a little bit and kind of pointed in the right direction and helped create something.
Right.
It's just, I got the same feeling then as I did when we create something together, or I create something for myself, or when I play music, or when I was performing many, many years ago. That same kind of is the same feeling I get when I used to surf, man. Like, it's just, it's such an awesome feeling when you just kind of like you said, like you make somebody feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, man.
There's huge fulfillment in that. And I found for me, when I did like this, the personality study, which that could be an episode on its own, just different personalities and what they mean. I found for me, the epiphany I had that was kind of hard to just openly say, but now I'm fine saying it because I think it's the truth and I'm stronger from it, is I tend to, my default personality is very low self-esteem, like my default. And that has a layer of aggressiveness to defend myself because there's always this underlying doubt of myself. So I say that to say that when we do stuff like help somebody like Jack, or we help other people, I get fulfillment in that if I was able to help you, that's the proof I need to know I can help myself.
Yeah. It's a good way to think about it.
It's selfish. It's not the way you should. It's not the reason you should do things.
I wouldn't call it selfish, dude.
Well, I think if your motivation is first driven by, I'm going to throw you to the fire to see if you get out of it, because if you were able to do it, I'm able to do it, it's kind of arrogant to an extent.
I mean, you put it like that.
Like, I think, and maybe I don't process it that way, but that's just the way I can articulate it myself, is saying that. So I genuinely do believe in people, but I'm equally as driven in my self-doubt, wanting to see you do it first so I can get an idea that it can be done. Which is a weird thing to work with. Like, there's a real fine line between being arrogant and thinking you're better than a person and doubting yourself. Like, it's difficult. And I've learned that that's a challenge for other people to work with me and deal with me, even in my marriage right now. Like, that creates a real big problem when you're a person that has a low self-esteem and a high self-esteem at the same time. Like, that's something I didn't think was possible. I didn't think you could like have a very low self-esteem but still think nobody could beat you. I didn't think that was possible.
Because the opposite, you know,
it's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
It's my brain works at the same exact time that I tell myself there's no way in the world I can do it. At the same time, there's like a parallel voice saying there's nobody in the world that can stop me from doing it. And I didn't know that was possible until I read it and I saw like the breakdown of a character analysis, and I was like, okay, so that makes perfect sense.
Do you remember what company that was? Because you showed me that. And I'd love to do that, dude, because it was, man, they broke it down. It was like 7 or 8 pages breaking you down,
I got
man.
the book on it.
Because I'd love to do it. That'd be fun, too. I know you and Jerome have done it.
Is it Enneagram? I forgot the name of it, and I'm going to remember it later. But
all good. We'll figure it out. Yeah, it'd be fun to do.
Enneagram is what it's called. Enneagram.
Enneagram?
Yeah, Enneagram is
Enneagram.
the thing.
Okay.
So.
Word. Dude, it's you made a comment about just like self-doubt. I feel like I think most people have some form of self-doubt.
That's actually what the study talks about, is that everyone experiences
Self-doubt.
every feeling, but to a different degree.
Sure.
And they handle it differently. So
yeah. And
these are not
what
problems that are
separates us.
unique to me. Yeah, everybody's
Yeah.
going to deal with doubt. For me, it's higher on the scale of how it affects me.
It's so crazy. We've done so many videos and we've done so many projects here at Tsunami. I still get the butterflies. I still get the dude. What are we doing? Like, I'm a fraud, dude. I'm a fraud. I don't know what we're doing.
Right.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though we've made some killer content for some people, it's crazy. I still feel like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. These guys I watched something online. I see these Super Bowl ads. I see a great commercial on TV, or I'm on YouTube. I see a great video. I'm just like, dude, just give up.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. I had the same feelings when I was performing, playing music. I mean, I played drums every day of my life. I was very confident in my abilities. I'd done 1,000 shows, and every time I get up on the stage or every time I go do a performance, I still felt that, like, those butterflies, and I got sick, like literally sick. Dude, you see it with us when we shoot some days. I'm like, yeah, I'm not eating today. I can't eat.
And I get real hungry and I'm eating before it. Like I'm going up to a shoot with a burger.
Yeah, no, and I can't eat. I can't eat until we're done, until we're back at the studio, and I'm like, oh, okay, we did it. Okay,
right.
We did it. But then, as soon as we start rolling, I'm like, all right, everybody, what's up? Okay, yeah, why don't we come over here? We'll do this thing. You get into like the wedding mode, It was like today at the shoot. I was a little nervous. I was like, man, what are we going to... And we had a plan, but even when you have a plan, there's still a little bit of self-doubt there sometimes. You just got to overcome it, man. But it's crazy, man.
But that connects loosely, and it does go back to just what we're talking about with kids leaving their house later and later. It goes back to you have to treat the people around you with respect, because you're going to lack in many different areas. And you're going to want to move out. You're going to want to build your business. There's a lot of goals everybody's going to have. And this is why you're gonna lack in areas, and unless you're treating people, the people around you correctly, you're gonna be by yourself, and you're not gonna achieve nothing great by yourself. You will achieve many things by yourself. You will. There's power, that you can stretch yourself pretty far. But I think the greatest things you're gonna there's no way around it. You're gonna run into people that are gonna need to give you a hand in certain areas, because there's no way you could be the best at every single thing. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, you can't do it all, man. You can't do it all.
Even if you're really good, even if you're one of those people that like people would seem like, you run into those people where they say, oh, he can do everything he touches. It's just amazing. He's the best, but he's not. They're really not. You're always going to run into someone that does that sound better than you, that does, that writes their lyrics a little better, that shoots the video a little better, that takes pictures a little better. You're always going to run into that person. And if you want to take things to the highest level, you're going to have to treat people well around you and know where you lack, not be intimidated by somebody else's strength. I think people... They don't find enough fulfillment in the fact that you can be the person to facilitate all the right people in the right circle. You know what I mean? Like they kind of feel like they have to do everything themselves. I got to shoot the video. I got to edit it. I got to do the color grading. I got to do, every single thing myself. It's like, no, you really don't. There's still value in the producer. There's still value in the director. There's still value in the person just putting up the lights. Like you had just an equally as important job. It might not be as technical. It might not be as flashy, but every single one of those pieces made that end product. And without your little contribution, it wouldn't be what it was. So people should stop thinking they got to be the one in the spotlight and the one running everything, because I think that's what people end up messing themselves up. And if they're not the one in front of the camera, metaphorically and literally, like if they're not the one in the spotlight, they feel like they're not going to do it. That's it. But you can be the absolute best behind the scenes person. You can be that, and that might be your calling, and you might be the absolute best, where the person in front of the camera wouldn't ever be able to edit the way you do. And you got to be fine with that. So you got to treat people well and be self-aware and be humble. There's nothing wrong with not being able to do every single thing. Yeah.
I like that. That's a good way to finish. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah. I appreciate you, dude.
I appreciate you too, man.
A lot, man. Yeah. All right, dude. We done? What do you think?
We're done.
I started with sunglasses. I'm going to finish with them.
What's his name?
Was it from that show, NCIS? It was like, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. All
right, we out.
All right, man. Hey, I'm Matt.
It's Tony.
And this is the Tsunami Podcast.
You're always late.
Let's go into the darkness. Ready?
You have no more